Boom! There it is. What up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Business Bros classroom version. So, you guys got a live studio audience, about 30 plus high school kids, and we get to talk about what entrepreneurs are doing. So, without further ado, let's get this one on the road. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life: prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Bros. All right, ladies and gents, it's fire intro time. So here we go. Life is difficult at times, and we can't always see what the next step forward is. Sometimes you need an outside point of view or an external push to keep you focused on what you want in life. That's where a good coach comes in. And today's guest is a certified life skills coach whose passions include video games and sports, but most importantly, being a dad. I believe mentors and coaches are a must in life and in business, and you just got to find one that you connect with. So let's welcome to the first ever Business Bros classroom, Chris Winterbottom. Yo, Chris, welcome to the program, man.
Yo, what's going on? So pumped to be here.
Dude, all right, man. Live studio audience, 30-something kids in here. Your target audience happens to be the youth. What would you say to high school seniors who are about to graduate and enter the real world?
Cherish time, every second of it, man, and make your life the most of what it can possibly be. We've all been through a lot of stuff in the past couple of years, with the pandemic, with COVID. A lot of things were interrupted. People's lives were put on hold, and it affected a lot of people. And you just have to keep moving forward with what you want, your passion, your values, your goals, and work towards them as hard as you can.
All right, man, let's get into the nitty gritty because I feel like when you're 17 and when you look up at an adult, you always think like, bull, dude, like you're lying. Like, of course you got it all figured out. What were you like in high school?
In high school, that was about 20 years or so ago for me. I was friends with everybody, to be honest with you. My big saying is spread love because everyone deserves to smile. Doesn't matter who you are. Just be friendly to everybody. I was there for everyone. I was athletic, and probably should have paid more of attention to the academic part of it. But as you get older, I think you realize more how important school is and educate yourself as much as possible.
All right, let's get real though. Like for real. Okay, so I teach a class called financial algebra, and I'm always 100% with my students. And I told them at the beginning the reason why they're here is because they struggled in a lot of their classes. But there are so many people out there that had very similar situations. And what I want to get across to them is that even though you struggled in high school, it doesn't mean that you're going to struggle in life. So tell me a little bit, like get into some nitty gritty, bro. Like I want to know, like, what was your GPA? Like, what was your hard point? And how did that affect you growing up?
Life is completely different after school. To be honest with you, you really grow up. I think once you graduate, I paid attention in school for sure. After high school, I didn't really excel in education after that anymore. I kind of went right into the workforce. I took some classes here and there, psychology. I just wasn't feeling it. It just wasn't for me. University wasn't the road. I don't like sitting in a room full of 500 other people. I like to be involved. I like to be able to ask questions and learn that way, right? A closed mouth doesn't get fed. So you got to speak your mind. You got to ask your questions. No one's going to do it for you. So speak up. The nitty gritty. Honestly, I was a mama's boy. I'm kind-hearted. I'm always one of the I want the person next to me smiling before I am. I've always been that way. I'll give you my shirt off my back, even if it's freezing cold out. I feel more now. Like I went back to school recently, which is something that is a huge step. I was out of school for 20 plus years, and I feel now that I'm more involved in education than I was in high school. But take advantage of it while you can, right? Like you're getting taught, you're there to learn, you're there to grow, and take it all in as much as possible, and just run with it, man. Honestly, like life can be so positive and so great. It's just about the mindset.
All right, let's talk about your story, dude. So we started here in the high school phase, didn't go to college. Like, what was life like? How'd you get to being a life coach? What path took you there?
So after high school, I did some odd jobs here and there, and then I found a career. My best friend, his dad owned a construction company, and he offered me a position. So I took it right away. I went right into the workforce, full time. Was there, did many different jobs there. Started from the bottom, in the warehouse, worked my way all the way up. 14 years I put in, and I was the service department manager. Pretty close to being one step below, running the business. I loved it. I managed, about 3 or 4 technicians, office staff. I was loving it. Commute. I was commuting 45 minutes to work and 45 minutes home every day, so that starts to add up a little bit. And then I received a blessing from above, a financial blessing, which gave me the opportunity to start doing what I was meant to do, and that's helping people, talking to people, coaching them, helping them through their issues, their obstacles, whatever it may be. So I took that chance, and I took a leap of faith. I left my secure career. I had benefits. I had it all. Vacation. I had it all there. Great pay. But it just, one day it hit me, and it was just like, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. This is not what you're here for. Do what you're meant to do. So life coaching was a thing to me. I didn't even know it was even a career, to be honest with you. I saw things on TikTok, the internet were popping up, but life coaching. I was like, what is all this? I coach. I'm a dad, like you said. I've coached my son's youth sports for 6+ years now, soccer and basketball. So coaching's been something that's been instilled in me. But just like seeing people grow, right, and learn, and just be there to help, listen, whatever it may be. So yeah, I took that leap. I found a course I could take online, went through that, became certified, and then started a business where I can, help many people. And the gratitude I get from it is way more than what I was getting when I had, my 9 to 5 career. I can, make my own schedule. I can live my life while still having a career that I absolutely love and adore as much as I possibly can.
And what was that thing that came into your life that kind of opened the door for that? What happened, bro? Like that sounds like a fun story right there. What happened?
So I hit the jackpot and I won the lottery.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
For real? Like how much did you end up winning?
About $2 million.
For real? $2 million?
That was my reaction, man. Yeah, it definitely a life-changing moment. I will go that far with it. I went to bed one person, woke up a completely different person when it comes to, financial stability. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was a paycheck to paycheck kind of person. I was, worried about what's gonna be on the plate to eat, what my son's gonna do, things like that. Like it was a little stressful at times, but my faith totally elevated me to where I am. And just, I started reading a book. It's called "You're Badass at Making Money," by Jen Sincero, I believe her name is. And I started reading that in about the summer of 2020. And that book changed my life completely. It's big on, word usage, I can't, or, I won't, kind of things like that. I hope this will happen. It's, this will happen, I can do this. It's just that mindset. What you put out is what comes back to you, right? So if you're telling yourself over and over and over again, you can't do something, or, people don't like you, you're not friendly, you're not beloved, then unfortunately that's what's going to be attracted to you. So I completely changed the way I spoke, the way I thought. I started praying. I connected to the universe, to spirituality. It's been a major life-changing moment. They do say, you know, it feels like you're being born again. 100% feels like I was born again.
Dude,
Not
$2
to say
million
like,
bucks though. Let me ask you about this $2 million, man. Because let's at the bottom. For real, like, okay, you win $2 million, and you hear this about professional athletes, you hear this about lottery winners all the time, that they win an extraordinary amount of money, and within 3 to 5 years, they are in worse financial situations than they were prior to getting into that space. You said you were living paycheck to paycheck, which is common. It's more common than a lot of people think. What I explain to my students is when I got into the tax business, I started doing tax returns, and I would do tax returns for people who are making $250,000 a year, and their $250,000 a year was still paycheck to paycheck. It was a shinier paycheck to paycheck. The house was bigger, the cars were nicer, but they were one paycheck away from being completely broke. When money entered your life, how did you change your habits from being a consumer to becoming an investor or a business owner?
That's a great question. You know, it's a very interesting story, to be honest with you. You know, I picked my own numbers, 6 numbers. I picked them. I was playing them for about 6 years, same numbers every week, over and over and over again. I'd play them and play them and play them. And, you know, the number 6 is so important to me in my life. My son was born November 6th. He weighs 6 pounds, 6 ounces. He was born at 6:06 p.m. The number 6, I won on October 6th. It was my parents' 60th wedding anniversary when this happened. 6 numbers were picked. Like, the number 6 is so intertwined into this, which then opened up my mind to like numerology and like what do all these things mean, right? So the money, it didn't change me. I changed myself before that. The way I looked at things, the way, you know, I looked at life, and just to be happy all the time. No matter what hits you, it hit you for a reason, and you either take it as a positive or you take it as a negative. There's 2 paths, right? I chose to take the positive every single time, and it led me in this direction of greatness and positivity. I didn't go out crazy and, you know, buy a Ferrari or buy a mansion or anything like that. My plan, and I know it's going to happen, is to be a millionaire the rest of my life. Not too many people get that opportunity. I did invest a large portion of it, which is a game I've never even been involved in before. It's a whole new world, investing, big time. You know, there's major ups, there's major downs, right? So like I bought, you know, your regular car, nothing crazy. I bought a house, nothing crazy. Donated a big portion of it. My mom was unfortunately diagnosed with breast cancer prior to this blessing that I received. And 1 month before I received it, she finished her last chemo treatment. She's still here with us today, and I absolutely am so grateful for that. So one of my big things when this happened was I'm donating to the Cancer Society on her behalf, which is something that meant so much to me to be able to do that. I got our family name put on a plaque and put it up in the hospital, and anytime someone goes in there, they see that you know, my family's name there. I had plans. It's almost like this was meant to happen. So I didn't go crazy. You know, obviously you do the right steps. You get your lawyer, you get a financial guy, you do what's right, because you do see, like you said, a lot of people get this money, and you know, like you said, they're worse off in the long run, and that's not where I'm going with this at all. I'm taking it, and I'm going to bless myself, my son, my family, and many others with it, because that is truly what it was put in my lap for.
All right, ladies and gents, I want to apologize, by the way, because, you know, I don't got much light on me today. I didn't bring a light to classroom, so I'll fix that for the next one. Chris, I want to ask you about what you actually get when you win the lotto, because a lot of times you hear things like, you know, the lottery is actually one of the biggest taxes on the middle and poorer classes, because they're striving to get the easy out, and the odds of winning are so small. And then when you do win, you don't actually get the full amount of what you won. Like you get to choose, usually depending on the lottery that you win, whether you take it over a number of years or you take a lump sum. Can you kind of walk people through who don't have an understanding of what that's like? What was your experience like? What did you win jackpot wise? What did you actually get?
So to be honest with you, it's a 1 in 14 million chance of winning what I won. 1 in 14 million. So that's you got to feel pretty amazing at that. I'm in Canada, so we get all of it. There's no tax.
Nice.
There's no
Your lottery ticket in Canada.
there's no taxes on it. It's a government issued check. I literally left the government building with a $2 million check that looks like you would get from your regular employer. Took it to the bank. That was a heck of an experience because, you know, not too many people walk in there and deposit a $2 million check on a daily basis. So
Did they believe you? Like you walked in with the check and the teller was like, "Nah, for real, dude. Like, come on, too many zeros. You got too many commas on this check."
Yeah. There was definitely some jaws that hit the floor for sure. I'm going to tell you, I'm probably one of the favorite people at the bank since this happened. You know, because word spread pretty fast throughout there. And I believe the girl that was working the teller, she was probably like a part-time, you know, student. So she was pretty overwhelmed with it. I'm pretty sure I made her day with it as well. But yeah, I just literally walked in there and put it right into my bank account, to be honest with you. And then I started having some fun.
Dude, okay, so you bought your place, you bought a car, and then you ended up leaving work and you started your business. Tell me about this life coach thing, right? So you ended up going back to school and getting certified in this process. I mean, you obviously started right away.
Today, Junior.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Right. So you got started. What's life coach classes? What are those things like?
They're deep, man, to be honest with you. It was way deeper than I thought it was going to be, because in these classes, not only are you learning to be the coach, but you also have to be the client for the other people in the classroom, you know. So there's some questions asked about things that you want to talk about, and they're deep. It definitely pulled at my heartstrings a few times. There was lots of tears, lots of feelings. These classes were something that I needed, and once I started doing it, I realized this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I said, in high school, I wasn't so much focused on the education part of it. I don't have regrets. I don't look at things as regrets, because, you know, the things that you do in your life are who you are today, right? So don't look back. Just keep moving forward. And I really focused on this education when I had the opportunity, and I see myself educating myself a lot more in the future, just taking courses here and there, because you can't go wrong when you're educating yourself. So like I said, yeah, they were deep. They really opened up a lot of history, a lot of ideas, things that pop up in your head, and I grew tremendously for sure.
Let me ask you about imposter syndrome, because this is one of those things that everybody struggles with it, and it always shows up in different names. Some people will have imposter syndrome and they'll have anxiety. Some people have imposter syndrome, they have depression. Some people have imposter syndrome and they plateau in life. As you started going through your training, you started working with people, especially when you talk to high school students. I went to a soccer tournament that my daughter had this weekend, and after that, we went out to breakfast with a couple of the team members. And so the girls were sitting together and the parents were sitting together. And we were talking about how we want the kids to kind of interact. We want to do some things so that they kind of become more of a team. And I mentioned that my daughter always feels like she doesn't have friends on the team. She's 13 years old, right? And every parent there said the same thing. My daughter says the same thing. I don't have friends on this team. Everybody else has friends and not me. And that perspective, I think, travels with especially the youth and sometimes into adulthood, of we're looking at everybody else and we're judging our life based on what everybody else is doing, not realizing that everybody has those same thought processes. So as you're going through this life, through life coaching, and you start working with clients, what are some of those things you see that show up as imposter syndrome?
Biggest thing is confidence. A lot of people lack it. They're not confident in themselves, their self-awareness, their self-love. And like you said, a lot of people focus on what other people think about you or what other people are doing, where you're not living their life. You're not living your life for them. You're living your life for yourself, right? So if you want to be more confident, you know, take those steps, set some goals. How do I become more confident? The clients I've worked with some youth from the basketball team that I coach, and confidence was a big thing amongst the kids. How do I get my child to be more confident in themselves? To get more friends, to speak up. My son, honestly, is the exact same way. And when you mentioned the sports teams like that, he's got friends on the team, but he doesn't, act like they're friends. They're more just like teammates. They're there to play together and then just kind of move on. And I always stress to him, like I said, you got to speak up. You got to, introduce yourself. Hey, like I'm so and so. What do you like, kind of thing, right? Just be more confident in yourself and live your life for yourself. Not worrying about what's going on in the world, what people are saying about you, what people are thinking about you. I get it. It's tough, right? Especially in the youth. But as you get older, you start to realize more and more and more, it's not what other people think or what other people do. It's what you want to make yourself happy. And that's, I ask those powerful questions, to get that from inside of them. All the answers you have in your life are built inside of you. You just have to unlock them. We have so much potential inside of us that it's just kept in there, and you just need to let it out. And unlimited potential is there for you to do great things in this world and to live your best life. But it's up to you to guide that, right? Like I said, sometimes you get a fork in the road. Which way are you going to go? Are you going to live your best life, or are you going to let things hit you and bring you back a few steps? Because for success, you can only move forward. You can't look back on what happened to you. Your core beliefs, they play a big part of it. Your subconscious always wants to pull you back, and because it's scared for you. But you got to take those leaps. Leaving my job of 14 years, I worked with my best friend. He was my boss. I've been friends with him for almost 30 years. He's my, I call him my soulmate, but not like in like a relationship kind of type like that. He's my, yeah. We were meant to cross paths and stay on that path together. Leaving my job was, I would have to say, the hardest decision of my life. Once I received the money from the lottery, my intentions were not to leave my job at all. My financial plan was to keep working until I was 45, and then have, the rest of my life to do literally whatever I wanted. But one day, sometimes your heart just tells you, this is not it anymore. And it hit me in the heart, and then I realized, move on. Like, this was given to you for a reason, and take that reason and run with it. And that's what I've been doing. And there's no looking back. I have no regrets. I completely love the decisions I made. I completely love the path I'm going right now. And I just want to help as many people as I possibly can to live their best lives.
Dude, this is you.
Try to make the world a better place.
That's what you're trying to do, man. That's exactly what you're trying to do. Okay, let me ask you something. In my classroom, my students are building businesses. They had a choice. They could do social media management, they could do affiliate marketing, and they could do print-on-demand companies. And so they're in the process of getting those things set up. Now, the way I structured it in class is every single week, like right after we do this podcast, they're going to get into their groups, and we're going to review the 3 goals that they had for last week, set new 3 goals for this week. What you're learning as a life coach, can you emphasize how important is goal setting and not having a ton of goals to pick from, but just having those 3 that they need to focus their attention on?
I don't even know if I can put in words how important it is to set those goals. And another part of those goals, which is a major part of it, is your intentions. What are your intentions? Do you want to start a business and not see it go anywhere? Do you want to start a business and see it skyrocket? Like, what are your intentions here? When it comes to life coaching, it's always big to write your goals out. I believe it's been proven that it's almost like 40% more effective if you actually write these goals out and you look at them. And like you said, don't make massive ones. Start with the small goals first. The top of the mountain is the bottom of another, right? So you're going to conquer your goals, and you're going to set new ones, and once you conquer 1, 2, 3, you just know it just comes natural. You're just going to continue to conquer your goals. So goal setting is, I actually wrote down some notes here for this, and goal setting was one of the biggest things for me, because it is very important. Action plans, goals. Like I said, you must write them out. The big thing with me is when I kind of shifted the way I look at life, big thing was my intentions. What were my intentions for this world? I can tell you, I still say them to this day. I repeated them numerous times to myself. I pray. They're affirmations, and my intentions are to show and give all of my love to everyone, including myself, which is a key part. You have to love yourself before you can love others. To have an abundance of wealth and money to enjoy and share, to live life to the fullest, to always be positive, and to cherish time every second of it. I wrote them out December 14th, 2020. And I've been sticking to those every day, multiple times. I speak them into existence because, like I said, what you put out is what comes back to you. And it's a lot of people make life difficult for themselves, but deep down, life is actually really easy. But it's how you make it yourself, right? And that's the big part about earlier, was like, you just live your life for yourself. Don't let people's opinions or people's thoughts or anything else like that bring you back. Like, this is your life. You get one shot at it. Live it to the best of your ability, and I guarantee you'll be happy for the rest of your life.
And you guys got any questions? You guys can come up to Mike and ask, because we're running low on time. It's always funny, man, because I look around and it's high school, so you got a few that hop on their phone, right? Maybe they're watching, tuning in, right? And then you got some that have been watching you and listening to you the whole way through. But can we get them to stand up and ask a question? That's the hard part in the classroom. Can I get them to stand up and present something in front of the class? Ooh, that's a tough one. But we'll see. Yeah, come up to the mic and ask. So we got somebody coming up and asking you a question. So
I love it.
Dude, here we go. All right, Miko, right here, other side.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, right there.
If you never won the lottery, do you think you'd still be where you are right now?
Wait, try that one more time. One more time.
If you didn't win the lottery, do you think you'd still be as successful as you are now?
That's a great question. And I believe you said Miko was his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been asked that before. And to be honest with you, I don't think I would be. Because that opened up a whole new avenue for me. It opened up many different opportunities for me. It connected me with people that I never thought I would connected with. I never thought I would own a business in my life, to be honest with you. Never even had the idea, never came across my mind until this happened. So like I said, I had a great job. I was your Monday to Friday, like a huge majority of the world is, right? Unfortunately, when you get stuck, I kind of look at it as like on a treadmill, you get stuck on it, where it's like you get up, you go to work, you come home, you get up, you go to work, you come home. And it's like, you're not actually getting that chance to experience what life is all about. And it's not about working for all of it, right? Talking to youth, talking to high school students right now, like your life from when you were 4 or 5 years old, you've been in a classroom. You leave the classroom, you go into another classroom. And then after those classrooms, you go into a career, whatever it may be. And it's like you're not getting a chance to actually live your life how you should be living it. Obviously, money is a need. A big thing I am going to tell this classroom right now is tell yourself you're a money magnet, and how important money is to you. Because, a lot of people say, oh, money isn't everything. It isn't. It's all about what you have inside. But money gives you the opportunity to do many great things. And a lot of people look at it as, there's those greedy people that make money look bad. And I didn't have a connection with money before this. I looked at it as, I was a negative. Oh, why am I always living paycheck to paycheck? Why am I not, saving? Why am I not living like my friends? I can't go on trips. Like, why is this like this with me? And you realize once you have the opportunity to have money with you, you realize that like your life is much better that way. So connect with money as much as possible. Money's your friend. And like I said, a huge mantra of mine is I am a money magnet. Like I say it over and over again, I am a money magnet, and that money, that wealth will come to you. You got to catch it though. You got to catch those things, man, and run with it.
So true. Follow-up question, Miko?
No, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah,
Thank
Chris,
you.
look, and I love how you express the fact that like, look, dude, I didn't have it. And you talked about living paycheck to paycheck. One of the first things we did in our classroom was we played Rich Dad Poor Dad's cash flow 101, right? And
Yep.
explained, and they got to experience on a board game what it's like to be stuck in the rat race going over and
Yeah.
over again. And I use that as hopefully a catalyst to push them into this business models that we're doing, just so they can learn to generate some extra revenue. A couple $100 a month for a lot of people is life changing. And if you can do that on a passive level, like you said, it opens up doors. You meet people, opportunities, windows, doors, garage doors open up for you because you're in this space. You speak a different language, or you're operating as a business owner, or you have additional revenue that gives you the ability to go to networking events or go to trips or be around certain types of people. So the opportunities are huge, man. Hey, I wanted to say thank you very much for being on the first ever Business Bros podcast in the classroom.
You
Love
blessed
it.
me again. You blessed me again with this, man. Honestly, I truly appreciate it. I had no expectations that it was going to be like this. I kind of wish I could have seen the class a little bit, but I mean, you're kind of handsome yourself. We kind of look the same with our haircut. So,
I'm talking about, bro.
So no, I honestly appreciate it, man. And down the road, I would love to connect with you again, man. If the opportunity is there, I appreciate things like this, man. My business hasn't taken off like I see it taking off quite yet. I mean, it's very new. I just started, a couple weeks ago. So this is something that's going to elevate me even more, and bring those clients in, whatever it may be. I'm always here to listen. I'm always here to talk. I'm always here to give space, lean in, whatever it may be. I'm just here to help people live their best life and unlock that unlimited potential that's inside of them, because we all have it.
Dude, it's there. All right, one last question, because my social media team is going to need this eventually. So we love video testimonials here on the show. So from everything from booking the show to being on the show, what was your experience like on the Business Bros?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. My nephew, Simon, he's the one that contacted you. He's been really, he's hungry. He's a high school student. He's 17 years old. His brother is a professional MMA fighter. His name's Anthony Romero. And he didn't go the sports route. He went the business route. So he kind of piggybacked off what his brother was doing. He now works for a sports agency while going to school. And he's hungry, man. Like, he's hungry, and I love it because he's really been motivating me. He connected with you. Everything's been so smooth. This has been great. I can't say anything but how amazing this experience was. So much, like I said, I would love to connect with you down the road, man. This is awesome. I like what you're doing, and just keep it up, man.
Sweet, my brother. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of episode. I mean, okay, technically this is like 1,011 episodes, but the very first one inside the classroom. So I'm excited for everybody else, all my future guests. For those of you who think you're going to be on the next episode and it'll be in the classroom, most of these get booked out starting in October. So it just so happened that this was an open spot. I had already changed the calendar and Chris booked it. So this is the first one. We still got the rest of August, some of September, and then in October, when we come back, that's when we're going to be pretty much 100% in the classroom. So Chris, thank you very much for being on the program. Ladies and gents, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. And I'm out.
It's over. Go home.
Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast, but not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz to get